I would like to discuss the history exchange that's happening. There is a huge difference between a work associate and a friend. Kendrick and Cole were industry peers, not friends. Being cool and collaborating and sharing respect in public spaces does not equal friendship. And a friendship has rules. Loyalty has rules. And Cole did not move like a friend. There's a way that you don't move with a nigga that's your friend. And if I have to be honest, Cole moves like a snake. And I don't see how anybody else doesn't really see that when it comes to his relationship with Kendrick. I feel like the hater energy was always there. If you go back to before the Control verse was dropped and you listen to the Jodeci freestyle, he already showed resentment over Kendrick winning awards he felt like he didn't deserve. So this wasn't a new emotion. I feel like all of this shit was stored up frustration. And the Grammy moment told the truth, right? Like, and I'm gonna get back to that. But, back to the Jodeci freestyle stuff. Like, and then you fast forward to 2024 when the reset happened. I call it the reset because it was necessary. It's something that changed the trajectory of the way that things were going. And no other nigga could do it. Cole himself couldn't do it. So Kendrick came and do what a big dog's supposed to do. Nigga, let me reset this shit back how it's supposed to be. And so all it took, and this is how it solidified in my mind and my brain, that Cole was never Kendrick's friend. Because all Kendrick said was one competitive line: fuck the big three, it's big me. Cole responds with a 7-minute emotional rant. That wasn't no damn drill. That was a whole rant. If all it took was one line for you to spill years of resentment, you were never that nigga's friend. Number 3, like, friends pick up the phone, bro. If Cole truly respected Kendrick as a person, he would have called him before dropping anything. A real conversation would have happened. Niggas would have got on the phone. Is this friendly competition? Are we doing phase? Like, what we doing? You feel me? You don't diss first and then try to explain it later. If that's your friend. If you want to have... And let me say this. If you need a comparison that explains how you move when you have a respect for a person, look at how Joey Badass got in the ring with 10 West Coast niggas and still shouted out Kendrick in his song, right? He still tried to approach Kendrick and stepped in the ring directly. No sneak energy, no resentment, no 7-minute rants and shit. Even after multiple artists jumped in, Joey still kept the shit competition. It wasn't personal. There's a certain way that you move if you have a respect for a nigga. And you see how he talked to him in the end. He said, if you ever looking for competition, nigga, I'm here. I'm ready for it. It wasn't a 7-minute drill where a nigga is ranting and raving about how he feel like you don't deserve shit and your album is trash and this and that. Like, nigga, you're not his friend. There's a difference. If you can't tell the difference between how Joey moved and how J. Cole moved, stop calling people your friend. Because there is a huge difference in that. And so what I also noticed was Kendrick's boundaries are intentional. I'm reminded of a interview I believe Big Sean did with Drink Champs. And he was asked who he chooses between Cole and Kendrick. Big Sean said he chose Cole over Kendrick because he'd been to Cole's house. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, that say more about Kendrick than anyone else, because it says that he keeps his distance by design and not everyone needs access to him. Everybody don't need access to you. And I think about something my grandma always told me, which was, your friends don't need to know your business. Your friends don't need to be in your house. Your friends don't need to even know where you live. She said her and her friends met out in public and did what they had to do, went out and party, shopped, ate, did whatever the hell they did, and they went back home to their families. And none of them knew where each other lived. It's the same situation. Everybody don't need to know your business. You feel me? Like, if you love something, you protect it. So that's wisdom to me. That's not arrogance. And it just reminds me of so many niggas get offended by that. When it comes to Kendrick, I've noticed that you got Big Sean coming out saying shit. You got niggas mad because they can't get features. You got Young Thug on jail calls that's being leaked talking shit. Like, niggas are private, niggas are personal, and y'all can't get close to him and use him like y'all did that nigga Drake, because Kendrick is not a prostitute. He's not for sale. And sorry, but Drake acted like he was a damn prostitute. Nigga was out here selling his motherfucking soul for chips and cookies. What we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a certain way that people who love themselves carry themselves. And certain niggas are not for sale. Sorry. And so we gonna get back to the backpedaling and pussy popping that J. Cole did. All that shit was about optics. Cole bowed out after realizing how it looked. The nigga was tag teaming Kendrick because he wouldn't get on the song with Drake, knowing that Kendrick don't fuck with Drake. You standing next to Drake when you know he don't fuck with Drake. Once the narrative flipped to like, oh, this nigga is being a hater, the moral high ground suddenly appeared. But you didn't give a fuck about that moral high ground when you went on your 7-minute rant, nigga. So it's like, that 7-minute rant wasn't nothing but an unload of all the feelings that you kept inside about this nigga all these years. And I mean, all you gotta do is go back and listen to the song if you want to prove that factual. Let me just say this. Hip-hop is a sport. If you step in that ring, you better stay in that ring. You don't claim GOAT status and then tap out when it's time to get your ass whooped. You can't have competitive bravado and a conscience switch. That shit don't go together. You need to pick one. And so that's my position. You know, J. Cole and Kendrick were never friends. Cole moved with a quiet resentment for years. You could tell how his little homie Jid acted at the motherfucking Grammys recently. You could tell, because that shit starts from the head and it trickles down. I don't care what nobody say. The 7-minute drill, nigga, aka rant, exposed it all. And the backpedaling and pussy popping exposed it too. You could have a great pen and still be a snake in my eyes. And for me, J. Cole is disqualified from any GOAT situation because of how he handled that shit. If you was gonna do what you did, you should have stayed and did what you did and stood on that shit. Don't get the backpedaling and pussy popping because you realizing that you looking weird out here. You looking real weird and suspect with how you moving. And anybody that's been paying attention to history can see that. It's a lot of people who's more upset that you bowed out because you keep talking about you the greatest of all time and you better than any nigga favorite rapper and this and that. And yeah, that's a piece of it. But I'm more concerned with how your ass moved. But you tried to come back and paint the picture like, oh, this is my friend and I don't want to lose a brother. And this nigga, you was never his brother. That's not your friend. I'm just saying, hell no. You was a nigga that's been hating on this nigga on the low for years, and you finally let that shit out because you had the opportunity to let that shit out. So you thought it was gonna be a tag team session with you and Drake on Kendrick when you realized Kendrick was whooping you niggas asses and slapping niggas back and forth. Then all of a sudden it's oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to lose my brother. That's my friend. No, that's not your friend. That's not your friend. A friend would have picked up that phone and said, hey, nigga, what we doing? We running this fag, what we doing? Because you my homie and I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, take it like in a way that you don't mean it. You feel me? That's how a friend would have moved. That ain't your motherfucking friend. And so, you know, for me personally, and let me say this is the last thing I'm going to say, right? The motherfucking Drake conversation on Wax thing, right? There's a song where J. Cole is literally talking to Drake, right? Saying, I'm not ashamed to say you did a lot for me, my nigga. And my question is simple. Why is this conversation happening on the song? Like, do y'all niggas not have each other's phone numbers? It's almost like, you know how a scoring X acts when they get blocked because they done did some shit and they want to try to get that old thing back, so they get to send the text messages to their mamas and cousins and making Facebook posts tagging motherfuckers and tell them, they go tell this person I miss them and I want them back. That's what that shit sounding like and looking like to me. Right? Why y'all niggas, y'all got each other blocked? What the fuck is going on? Why is there third party conversation happening on behalf of y'all? Why is Maul got his black ass on this goddamn podcast talking about J. Cole, tell the people why you're not talking to Drake anymore after you had a conversation with Kendrick? Damn, why is y'all niggas acting like y'all in a whole ass relationship with each other and y'all got each other blocked so you can't, neither one of y'all want to talk? What the fuck is going on? Why are we supposed to care? And so it's like, so when people keep calling, I say all that to say this, when people keep calling relationships friendships, in my mind, I'm like, y'all don't even communicate like friends. What type of fucking friendship is this? You know, so that's just where I want to leave this shit at. Like, y'all niggas are not friends. J. Cole is a hater, and he's not the greatest of all time.